There's a live action Death Stranding movie in the works. I never played this game. Did anyone of you play this game?
I
Nick?
not. It got some
Ah.
really good reviews pre-release, and when once it came out, people weren't really all that hyped about the game or the story.
Yeah.
So I ended up. That's why I skipped it. People really didn't seem to like it, and a lot of people seem to kind of be confused by it a little bit.
So, yeah. Well, basically, they're doing a live action movie. What we are creating is not just a direct translation of the game, which from what you're saying probably sounds good. A24 are going to collaborate with Kojima Productions. That's a good sign. I like
Yeah,
A24.
but honestly, the story here, I will say, after trying to play this game for about 4 hours, I found it lacking in so many ways. So,
Oh, really?
yeah,
Like a walk? Wasn't it a walking simulator? People were.
that's what a
That's one
lot
of
of
the
people
criticisms for it.
suggest. Yes, and I would have to
I
agree with
remember
them.
that.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, let's take a look. Right, A24, the studio behind Academy Award-winning films Everything Ever All at Once, has announced a collaboration with Kojima Productions to adapt Hideo Koshima's acclaimed video game Death Stranding into live-action feature film. The announcement comes ahead of Kojima Productions' 8th anniversary on 16th December, marking a new milestone in video game to film adaptations. The film promises to delve into the mysteries surrounding the apocalyptic event called the Death Stranding, which blurred the lines between life and death and brought forth nightmarish creatures into a world on the brink of collapse. Hailed as the architect of the stealth genre and a pioneer in interactive storytelling, Hideo Kojima continually shifts the boundaries between film and game. Widely considered the father of the stealth genre, he's also credited with innovating both storytelling and cinematic presentation in video games at large. In 2020, Hideo Kojima received BAFTA Fellowship and the highest accolade bestowed by BAFTA upon an individual in recognition of exceptional contributions to film, games, television. He is good. What he's done is good.
Yeah.
So here's a statement. A24 was born into this world about 10 years ago. Their presence is singular within the industry. They are like no other. I like some, but fine. The films they're delivering to the world are high in quality and very innovative. I've been attracted to their creations, and they have even inspired my own work. Their innovative approach to storytelling aligns with what Kojima Productions has been doing for the last 8 years. Now, we are making a Death Stranding movie together. There are a lot of game adaptation films out there, but what we are creating is not just a direct translation of the game. That has not worked very well for most video game adaptations, mate.
No, if there ever was a red flag, it's that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what's it like? Come on now. The intention is that our audience will not only be fans of the games, but our film will be for anyone who loves cinema. We are creating a Death Stranding universe that has never been seen before, achievable only through the medium of film. It will be born.
Maybe it'll be better as a movie than a game.
It always goes so well when they announce a cinematic universe before the first one is out. I mean, this worked so well for the Monsters universe.
Yeah. So what do we think then? Because I mean, I've never played the game. I was hoping one of you had. I mean, Culture has for 4 hours, I guess.
I was looking forward to it, but at this point in time, it's one that I'm for sure playing, and I don't really care what anybody else says. I'm 100% playing it as soon as it drops. I always wait for reviews before I buy a game these days. But this was one I was looking into. Like I said, the reviews weren't really that good after the game dropped, but the guy who did this game, I'm drawing Hideo
Kojima.
Yeah, Kojima. Yeah, he is the creator of one of my all-time favorite games of all time, Metal Gear Solid on the PS1. Awesome game, awesome story. So, I mean, he's good, but as far as this translating this from game to film, rarely does it work. My expectations are pretty low. Again, I probably won't even watch this, once it drops, unless the reviews from critics and the audience are like way high. Just because I just don't got time to spend on stuff like I used to, and I'm unless it's worth me sitting down taking the time, I'm probably going to be skipping it.
Oh, that's probably me too, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm done with this too before it even launches. I
remember the trailer was good, wasn't it? To the game.
Yeah. That's what got me hyped about the game initially. I was like, wow, this looks actually kind of cool.
Lots of stuff looks pretty, and then you watch it. Or in the case of the games, you play it.
Yeah, I'd rather play Crash Bandicoot 4.
Yeah, I'm kind of out of the idea of paying $60 or $70 for a video game without actually getting some reviews and some information on it that's reliable.
Yeah,
because much like movie sites and fan blogs and game reviewers and stuff, I can't trust any of those people because they have a weighted opinion because they get by because they're access media. I have no time for that. That's why the people I turn to for actual information, with Midnight's Edge, Mr. H Reviews, that's what they're there for. I'd like to think I'm a small part of that.
Maybe would you not turn to them for no?
I mean, if I want to know about Star Wars, good or bad, you can always check out.
About Star Wars, they do other stuff now.
I'm gonna stop talking.
Fucking hell,
I don't even know why I'm here.
Leave culture alone. Leave him alone. I'm the only one who's allowed to pick on him today.
All right.
Well, anyway, there you go. Death Stranding, meh.
I have zero interest in this shit, so yeah.
I can't. I'm looking forward to hearing what Grace thinks of it.
So
yeah,
I'm so excited for the Death Stranding game.
Yeah, and as for me, like I remember the trailers for the game. The trailers looked intriguing enough, but beyond that, I don't know the property. I guess like if you were to adapt it in a way that was reflective of that initial trailer, it could be really, really good. The potential for it absolutely is there. However, there's a problem with adapting these new video games, which are so cinematic, which are so big, which are so grandiose, which takes... How long does it take to play through a game like this? 24 hours, 48, 36? How much story is it to unpack in such a game?
Typical ones nowadays are like 40 to 50 hours.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And you're supposed to adapt this into a 2-hour movie? Good luck with getting the fans on board with that, because you're going to have to cut so much. I guess that is what they mean by this is not going to be an exact adaptation. No, because if they were to do that, well, for one thing, you could just watch a cinematic. So that's like one thing. But another is that then you would no longer be looking at the movie. You'd be looking at the seasonal series, multi-season series, at least 10 episodes, just to follow the story of the game, right? That's a challenge with adapting these things into movies. They're too big. I mean, you can take a property from like a 16-bit era. You can do that into a movie. You can do something where you don't really have a story like Gran Turismo and make a story around that and make it amazing. You can do Sonic the Hedgehog. You can do Super Mario. You can do Streets of Rage. You can do all of these things where basically the game is a simple game mechanic, whether it be fighting, platformer, beat them up, racing, whatever. And then you have like a skeleton of a story that you can expand into a movie. I mean, then you have a winning formula. But every single time you are dealing with something that is really grand, that you have to scale back, you're on shaky ground right away. because it's no longer how do we expand this, it's what do we cut back. And every single time you cut something back, you cut away a little bit of the core. And then what remains? Is that even going to be recognizable to the fans watching it? I think they're not doing themselves any favor here. Really, like Hollywood and filmmakers, they shouldn't even be looking at properties like these. If anything should be assigned as unfilmable, it is this, for just this very reason. I mean, you have like this series that's going on right now. Like, what's it called again? It's a PlayStation thing with Twisted Metal, I think it is. I mean, that's a multi-season series. Good. They got the right idea. They're smart enough to know that this is too big for a movie. But you do something like this, a Hideo Kojima thing, and you want to do it as a movie? Good freaking luck with that. That's not going to work.
Well, I mean, they can get rid of a lot of the walking.
Yeah.
Well, you can,
and Andre brings up a good point, because just looking at one of my favorite games of all time that have come out recently, Final Fantasy VII Remake, just the cinematic cutscenes alone, 15 hours.
There you go. That's what I mean.
Hours.
Just the cutscenes. How the fuck? Imagine if someone did a movie adaptation like that. It is 45 minutes. How excited are you for that?
Yeah. And that's just a small section of the original game, that they developed for the remake. They took one small section and just the cinematics, 15 hours.
Yeah, that's insane. Right. I think we should shuffle on from that now.